The world is full of amazing, inspirational people, but Andrew Tate isn't one of them. In fact, the former kickboxer is probably the most problematic influencer of 2022. Every few days, the 35-year-old lands himself in trouble for the things that come out of his mouth. But despite getting cancelled on the daily, he still continues to spew more and more hate. And today, we'll be talking about his disrespect towards Lewis Hamilton. First up, Andrew Tate is not a good person. Before we move on to other things, let's be clear on how we feel about the controversial American-British internet personality. In 2016, Andrew rose to national prominence when he was kicked off the TV show Big Brother after a video emerged of him apparently beating up a woman with a belt. Yeah, not the best way to get famous. While the world was horrified, Tate insisted he and the women were great friends and the whipping was consensual. We might have even believed him had we not known how violently misogynistic he is. In case you didn't know, this sexist man hasn't only called women men's property, but he's also gone on to say that while men can have multiple partners, women shouldn't even think about it. Talk about some double standards. And it gets worse. During the peak of the Me Too movement, the entrepreneur felt that he also needed to give his input on the matter. And how did he do that? By victim-blaming sexual abuse survivors and stating that they are somewhat responsible for their attacks. After Tate moved to Romania for his camgirl business, he said in the now-deleted video that part of the reason why he moved is that the Romanian police are less likely to pursue sexual assault allegations. At this point, calling him disgusting would be an understatement. But hey, this is just the start of this man's vileness. The Chicago-born influencer is also blatantly homophobic and has made ridiculous jokes about not giving a dying man CPR because it would make him appear gay. So yes, we don't like Andrew Tate, and neither should you. Next, Andrew just disrespected Lewis Hamilton big time. Andrew Tate is known for talking bad about others. After all, how else would he stay relevant? Cause, let's be real, barely anyone knows him as the kickboxer, but everyone knows him as the guy who likes stirring up drama. While so far, the F1 world was safe from the wrath of Andrew, things changed a few days ago when his offensive words managed to find their way into the sport, and people aren't happy. That's right, Andrew's recent target was one of the greatest sportspersons of all time, Lewis Hamilton. A few years ago, Tate attended a Grand Prix session on the track, but was not impressed by the performance of the talented drivers, as he believed that he could outperform them. Now, that's what you call being conceited. Recently, the insults he directed at the racer have resurfaced, and Andrew is in deep waters. The internet personality, along with his entourage, openly disrespected the 7-time world champion while at the F1 race, and the video is going viral. He not only made fun of the racer's height, but also mocked his personal life. He started slandering Hamilton by obnoxiously saying that for him, it's a piece of cake to beat anyone in a Formula 1 car. Sure, Tate, whatever helps you sleep at night. Sadly, Tate's company is just as bad as he is. After his own absurd claim, his brother Tristan chimed in and poked fun at how small Hamilton is. While holding their fists up, the two stated that if the F1 driver was to step out, they would fight him for his car since he's only 5'8", real mature. And he continued to demean not only him, but his former girlfriend. Making fun of his stature wasn't enough, so then a bystander joined in and added that the Mercedes star is vegan, as though that's supposed to be an insult. This led to even more immature jokes, and his little gang resorted to calling the 37-year-old a pussy. But that's not all. They even said that they should break his spine, snap it, adding that they'd crumble him into a ball. The friend group didn't even spare the star's personal life and dragged his ex-girlfriend, Nicole Scherzinger, into the conversation. Tristan talked about how the couple had a 6-year relationship that ended in 2015. Of course, the reason for bringing this up was to demean the racer some more. He expressed that Hamilton wouldn't create an impression in comparison to the previous partners Nicole has had. This man can really stoop to any level. On a side note, recently there's been a rise in offensive incidents taking place during races, and despite Formula 1 launching a campaign aiming to eliminate any discourteous behavior towards drivers or fans on or off the track, the incident has not been dealt with so far. Surprisingly, even though all of this went down in the VIP area of the track, F1 hasn't taken any sort of action against the 35-year-old and his friends. We can't believe how he always gets away with his insolence. Ugh. Moving on, Andrew Tate is a bad influence on young children. Following his kickboxing career, Andrew began offering paid courses and memberships through his website, but real popularity for him came when he transitioned into influencer marketing. Despite everything the 4-time kickboxing champion has done and continues to do, he somehow managed to skyrocket to fame this year and has become one of the most recognizable names on social media, with so many young people actively following and idolizing him simply because they don't know any better. If you use social media apps, chances are you've probably been bombarded with his videos on your feed. We don't get why, but for some reason, he's viral. His popularity has gotten to the extent that his name became more searched on Google than that of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Unbelievable. unbelievable. For whatever personal gains, social media giants like Meta have been continuously allowing him to convey his erroneous message to a whole generation of young men without any sort of repercussions. And what is he teaching these impressionable boys except how to be violent misogynists? This jackass has even described himself as a success coach. Just on TikTok, Andrew has surpassed more than 11 billion views, and everyone has had enough. People are now coming together to hold all social media platforms accountable for allowing such a foul man to have a public voice, despite not following any community guidelines. To allow someone who's being investigated for sex trafficking to have a platform is beyond dangerous, and it's high time that these social media networks put their foot down before more people get hurt. Consequently, Andrew Tate has been banned from social media. After months of protests by netizens and public figures alike for social media platforms to take action against the 35-year-old and block his accounts, there's been some progress. After sharing hundreds of videos promoting misogyny and violence towards women, everyone was worried about the real-world effect these videos could have, especially on the younger users exposed to it. Twitter first suspended his account for his profanity and hate speech. Now Meta apps, Instagram and Facebook, have also banned influencer Andrew from both platforms for violating its policies. Tate had around 4.7 million Instagram followers at the time his account was removed, and we can't say we feel sorry for him. According to BBC, Meta said it had removed the kickboxing sensation from its platforms for not adhering to its policies on dangerous organizations. Good job, Meta. But even better is the ban on TikTok, where he was having great success, with users even complaining that they were readily served up his videos. A TikTok spokesperson stated that the platform does not tolerate misogyny, and they're working to make the app as safe as they can. While no further details were shared, people are speculating that the ban is a result of his derogatory remarks targeting the Mercedes star. And if that's true, he totally deserved it. As Andrew has been almost removed from all online mediums completely, the pressure is now falling on YouTube, since it's where Andrew has racked up millions of views. Let's see how long it'll take him to get banned from there, too. Finally, what does Andrew have to say about the ban? The strings have been pulled, and Meta, Instagram, and TikTok have all banned the influencer and have also taken down content related to him. So just like everyone, Mr. Tate also had something to say in response, and you can very well bet it was an overly ambitious attempt to defend himself. Andrew calls this event as being of an unfortunate nature and claims that old videos where he has been playing as a comedic character have been taken out of context to deliberately portray him through a false narrative. Tate further went on to employ some nice-looking words, calling out Instagram and the internet in general to have bowed down to pressure and internet sensationalism. Yikes, that is some sensational way to try and get yourself out of deep waters. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the insults Andrew hurled at the F1 legend? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.